Well, good evening, everybody. It's Zero, and welcome back to another episode of History Buff Reacts. We're taking a look at Salmonella, the top 10 worst animal skeletons. And before you say it, yes, I know this isn't strictly history related, but it's Salmonella, so I'm doing it anyway. And if you don't like it, yeah, I'm doing it anyway. I'm assuming he's probably going to do them from the past as well. You know, animals that may not exist or stuff that happened in the far past. But honestly, I have no idea. Apparently, I've watched this video at some point. Never did react to it, so I don't know when I watched it. I have no idea. So, it doesn't really matter too much, I suppose. We're going to be doing it now. But just before we do, just a quick update. Probably will be bringing the YouTube streams back after a little bit of thinking. Don't know when the first one's going to be, but keep an eye out on the community tab of the channel. You will get an update there for when I do the first one. How much I like Twitch, too many problems at the minute. But yeah, top 10 worst animal skeletons by Salmonella. Here we go.
This video is sponsored by Skillshare.
Of course it is.
Hey kids,
Hi,
as we all
Sam.
know, the evolution of species is an incredible process, driven by
is.
little more than the random chance that certain mutations may happen to provide a practical advantage in a creature's environment. And as a result, there's a lot of things out there that look super dumb once you strip back a few layers. Here's the top 10 worst animal skeletons of all time. So first and foremost,
okay.
I'd like to settle a little debate I've been seeing floating around the past few weeks. Yes,
Okay.
penguins do, in fact, have knees, but in order to hide full-grown legs into one plump cylinder, you gotta have a little skeletal trickery on your side. You guys ever do wall sits in gym class or elsewhere? One of the most torturous exercises out there. I now feel even worse for penguins, because not only did they have to deal with living in a frigid black and white hellscape, the most hostile environment known to man second only to the vacuum of space, all the while constantly pursued by ravenous bloodthirsty sea dogs, but they're also secretly doing wall sits their entire life. Quick side note, in Mandarin, the word for penguin consists of the characters for business goose, which is fucking hilarious. Like one day a goose put on a suit and said, "Today it is time to make a name for myself, honk." This next guy...
Business goose. Oh, I love translations like that. Oh my god, business goose. I am a business goose. Honk. Oh man. Oh, what's this? Chameleon. Alright, here we go.
Is known as Parsons chameleon, found in the more remote regions of Madagascar. Notice the fleshy protuberances around its nose area. Turns out, not fleshy, not even remotely fleshy, not even one flesh. Instead, it just has a skull forever frozen in time in the middle of exploding, like it sneezed right in the middle of God shaping it out of clay, and he was just like, ah, whatever, it's a feature now. So for that, this rough-headed reptilian gets number 9. Normally, I would have ranked it higher, but that's a dope tale, so he gets some pity points. Next is the pufferfish. So for most of my life, I've pictured pufferfish is just not having any bones. I know it doesn't really make sense, but neither does them turning into a balloon like a goddamn cartoon. Turns out, in their normal state, they actually look like this. And when they inflate, those concentric rings of spines slide outwards past one another to cover the full area, like the aperture of a camera lens expanding to cover the full frame of the fish. The sheer ingenuity of this design has shattered my childhood dream of real-life balloon animals, which has earned the pufferfish the number 8 spot on this list. Now, if you've gotten around a certain zoological circles, you've been shown this skull and been told, ah yes, that comes from the dwarf elephant. Oh, you've never seen one? That's because they're extinct. And that thing in the middle? Ah yes, nothing more than the nose hole to which the trunk connects. However, if you're a rational, free-thinking adult like me, you can look past the lies spoon-fed to you by Nat Geo and other liberal media outlets and see this for what it is. A cyclops. Next is the orca, otherwise known as...
That's so weird though. Is that true? The elephants really evolved to have a gap in their skull. I suppose that makes sense, but it's really weird at the same time. Really weird. Learn something new every day.
is the killer whale, the
Killer
panda
whale.
torpedo, or the SeaWorld slave. Its
SeaWorld
skeleton
slave.
is fairly normal at first glance, but check out this little thing under here. That little bony blip is actually all that remains of the legs and pelvis of the orca from when it evolved from land mammals. Personally, I think that's highly disrespectful to their ancestors. Like, they could have taken the seal route and used those legs for good in the water, but instead these sea cowards said, no thanks, we're gonna undo all that evolution and just be bigger, smarter, warmer fish again. But hey, we'll keep this little piece of nothing just to remember you guys by. Truthfully, I could have chosen almost any cetacean to pick on for this, but the orca's face also reminds me of SCP-682, which is the most OP overrated shit out there, so he gets the number 6 spot. Moving on.
I don't even mind if SCP-682. If you've watched my gameplay videos and some of my streams, you know that I'm a fan of SCP. 682 is a pain in the ass. Completely indestructible. You can kill everything, basically. Apart from the SCPs, weirdly. Anyway. No nerding over SCP. Unless you want to do it in the comments. If you want to nerd over SCP in the comments, I will more than welcome that. Anyway.
Now bear with me here. In every other mammal on Earth, the canine teeth point downward from the gum to the mouth. You know, like a tooth. But this guy, known as the Babirusa, said, "Huh," and decided to have them grow up through the entirety of its fucking snoot and out the other end, which is the most nonsensical thing I've ever seen.
What?
Like, toenails out the front? How cliche. Let's make them go through the whole foot instead. Look, now I can kick good behind me. That's not all though. These tusks also keep growing for the creature's entire life.
What is that? What? That? What? Why? What use does that have? What purpose does that serve? Okay, I'm not good at, like, history of biology. I'm not good at biology. Never have been. But usually evolutions are there for a reason. Because it's to adapt to the environment. Why does it need that? What purpose? What does that serve? What does this serve here? What is this? I don't... Nature is weird. Nature's weird. I'm just gonna leave it there.
Which isn't a problem in and of itself, right? Rodents, they keep chewing stuff to wear them down. Alligators, they just let them fall out now and then. But the Babirusa's like, I'll just nut in a lady pig long before this becomes an issue. So if it lives long enough, the teeth can curve right on around and slowly bore into the thing's face, like built-in Chinese bamboo torture. And occasionally, they can end up actually piercing the skull and shish kebabbing the brain. Now, some people might say that this doesn't belong on this list, given that teeth aren't technically bones. And to those people, kids, we say, eat shit and die. Next, we have the octopus. The octopus skeleton is so bad that it doesn't even exist. Sure, they got this little thing in the middle, but that doesn't count. That's just chitin. And yeah, they can get in a jar or whatever. But at what cost? At the animal picnics, the crowd shouts, "Bleh, shun the spineless freak." And at the animal wheelbarrow races, with nothing to grab hold of, the cephalopod holds a solitary vigil at the starting line. And lo, the octopus wins naught but a participant medal at the Grand Prix and the number 4 spot on this list. Moving on, here's the skeleton of a fruit bat. Now, not a big deal to us regular folk, but imagine if humans had no context of bats and they dug this thing up. Like, class, archaeologists have recently found these fossilized remains, and using modern technology, we can see exactly what it would have looked like back when it was alive. This abominable creature is known only to scientists as Finger Boy, and is theorized to have fed upon fruit, insects, and the dreams of orphans, which it would siphon out from the ears of the errant little waifs whilst they slumbered. By the way,
it looks like I know I shouldn't be bringing up SCP again, but is it just me? Or does that look a little bit like SCP-096? I can't unsee that. I'm triggered. I don't like this.
If you Google image bat skeleton, like, more than half of them have the ears built in, just like, I feel the extraordinarily bat-like wings and figure of our decoration are much too subtle for our consumers. Better slap these on. At number 2, we have the anteater. From its oboe-like skull to its gorilla fist and hands, one can only wonder who let this creature exist. Fun fact, if you take the anteater's skull and blow into its nose, it plays a beautiful song recounting the animal's entire life, and then security escorts you out of the museum. Looking at this, I can only pose the question asked for generations long before my own. That being, Why the long face? Before we get to the number 1 spot, here's a few honorable mentions. The wolf eel.
Whoa, the wolf eel. Oh, yeah, actually, that's the thing, though, isn't it? It's not like... Aren't most eels like that? That they're literally just ridged all the way along with these tiny, like, long bones. That's how they move. That's how they move so weirdly.
The ostrich.
Okay.
This human-cat hybrid I found on a tabloid site.
Okay.
And of course, the mermaid. So at our number 1 spot, we have this creature.
Ow.
That's supposed to be a mirror. I know most of you can't see yourself in it on account of your filthy Dorito smeared screen, so just take my word for it. So what's wrong with humans, you ask? Well, a lot of things, but for now, let's stick to the skeleton. First off, these bones right here, these are known as the metatarsals, all part of the foot, right? No, that's a bunch of primate propaganda. In most other groups of land mammals, what we consider our ankles is actually the quote-unquote knee of the animal. Thanks a lot, walking upright. Also, it's estimated that around 80% of people will experience chronic back pain at some point in their life. Thanks a lot, walking upright. Lastly, probably something you've heard about at some point, our skull to pelvis ratio. For most animals, giving birth, not a big deal. Small heads, wide hips, mazel tov. But check out the big brain on Brett. There's a real monkey wrench in the works there. For a while, it led to some problems till those extra brains figured out how to work around it. So I guess you win this round, humans. But that doesn't stop you from also winning the number 1 spot on the worst skeletons of all time. But hey, just because you'll forever be flawed on the inside doesn't mean you can't improve yourself on the outside. That's why you need to try Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with over...
Advert. Is there any more? Hold on. Let me just double check if there's any more. If it's just... Okay, no, that's it. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So there was some interesting shit there. Not gonna lie. The eel one I knew. The anteater, yeah. Very strange. It's like a gorilla with a long face. I'm not gonna fucking see that now. But yeah, obviously not particularly history related. But that was a good video anyway. Oh, I don't even... Number 1 spot, us. I think we'll take the award. You know what us humans are like? We're like getting first place. That's why we're top of the food chain. In most places. Not everywhere. But anyway, that's going to be it for now. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoy it, please make sure to press those like and subscribe buttons and also hit that bell so you know when I upload. As I said in the post before, the uploads are going to be slower, but I feel like I'm going to burn out a lot less, and I'll be able to keep this going for a long time. And then, obviously, YouTube streams will be coming back very, very soon as well, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.